Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm Bobby Gogolin with RKE. And what we're here to do tonight is we're going to discuss one of the mechanics in the upcoming Pirates game that is going to be going on at Sherwood Forest in Porte, Indiana, coming up April 24th and 25th. It's all about Pirates. It's all about having fun. It's all about role play and shooting people. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the boat rules tonight. This specifically deals with the two boats that each side gets. So 2 boats on each side. Each boat has up to a crew of 15 people per boat. That includes the driver. Okay? So you're talking about 30 people on the boat. Now, on the actual boat, itself, only 6 members can get on there at one time. The rest of you think of yourselves as ground support. Keep the fire away from the boat. The guy driving the boat has to be one of the 3 officers. An officer must have a minimum of a pistol and a sword. The guy piloting the boat has to be wearing them, but he cannot have them in his hand. His hands have to be empty. No cannon, no pistol, no sword. Okay? So, now while we stated that only the officers are having the swords and the pistols on them, the officers cannot use those swords from a boat, nor can they use those pistols from a boat. They would have to get off the boat to literally have a duel with somebody. Okay? Now, as far as the other 3 members that are on the boat, they're shooting cannons. That's it. You can't have your paintball gun in your hand while you are attached to the rope. Plain and simple. You can shoot a cannon, but there ain't nothing else you can really do. So, it is important for everybody to realize that you can only have your cannon in your hands while you're on the boat, nothing else. The extra items that you carry on the boat with you are for when you get off the boat. So while you're on the boat, don't use them, don't pull them, don't do anything. Okay? A boat can only shoot another boat with approved cannons and game-supplied ammo. Nothing or nobody else can shoot at a boat or its onboard crew. Now, when a player on the boat is hit by a cannonball, the last player in the line falls off and must go back to insertion. When only the officer driving the boat is left and they get hit by a cannonball, then the boat is sunk and the driver must kneel. The sunken boat may now be scavenged within 2 minutes, but only by the officer who is driving the boat that sank it. And he does not get off the boat to do that. He sails up to it, does his thing. It's looted. You're gone. Okay. Now, let's talk about getting on and off the boat real quick. It's really simple. At no time can you shoot the boat, whether they're kneeling, standing, whatever. Those guys that are on the rope, you can't shoot at them. Period. Okay? So when these guys, and this is a mechanic, when these guys are going to drop somebody off, everybody on the boat kneels down. The people that are getting off get off. The other people stand up, and they can either stay there or they can walk somewhere else. They can do whatever they need to do. To get back on the boat, again, boat swings in, it kneels down. Everybody on the boat kneels down. The player they're picking up goes up, attaches himself to the rope, they all stand up and they all move off. You can never have more than 6 people on this boat. Remember that. So, now that we've talked about how you get on and off the boat, when you need to go and capture a rewards generator, you can sail right up to the generator, but you got to land. Somebody has to get off that's on the app, has to claim the point generator, then he can get back on the boat. Now, what you do from that point on is up to you. Most of the point generators, you have to hold them for 20 minutes before they start generating money. Or somehow that mechanic works. So, pretty much, we've already talked about everything else. Now, this is an example of a boat pilot. You see the backpack on his back. You see the boat up on the top. What you can't see is the rope that comes off of the backpack that everybody else is hanging on to. Okay? Nobody on them ropes are able to be shot at. Just don't do it, or you're going to have a bad day. All right, if at any time you're on the boat and you become unattached from the rope while the boat is moving, you have fallen overboard and are lost at sea. You are dead. So if you're traveling along with the boat and you stumble and your hand comes off the rope and now you're not attached to the rope anymore, see ya. Take the walk back to the dead zone, spawn back in, come on back out. Now, to anchor the boat, if the pilot wants to get in on the action, he or she can anchor the boat. Okay, again, pilot. He can anchor the boat by taking the backpack with the masthead off. He takes it off, he sets it on the ground. This boat is now considered to be anchored. Okay, he can go join the fight. If he gets killed, he gets killed. He's got to take the walk back. The boat stays anchored where it's at. If an officer survives the conflict, the officer may come back over, put his stuff away, put the pack back on, and sail the boat out again and go pick up more crew if he needs to pick up more crew. Okay? If the officer dies, if all the officers are dead, the boat can then be sacked, scavenged, whatever you want to call it. Go over, scan your barcode. If there's anything on it, you get a nice portion of it. Now, can you move the boat? No. You can't move the boat from where it has been left. You can't take it with you. You can't outfit it with another officer and more crew. You can't do any of that. If you succeed and the boat is anchored, you can scavenge it, but you can't move it. Now, you don't have to let them come back in and just pick it up, but you can't touch the boat. Take that for what it's worth. There's ways around everything. Okay, so moving on. If one of the teams decides to take on the QAR or the Dutchman for some brainless reason, and the other side sees it going on and decides to jump into the fight, the two teams must then go toe-to-toe with each other, forsaking the QAR and the Dutchman. They hate each other more than they hate the QAR or the Dutchman. When the two boats come into line of sight from each other, they have two choices, attack or run. So, In this scenario, boat sees the two boats fighting. They go into attack. Okay, now they can't attack the Dutchman. They can't attack QAR. They can only attack the other boat. That's it. It's that simple. Okay? Now, just because you jumped into the fight between the QAR and the other team's boat, it doesn't mean the QAR has to stop pounding both of you. But you can't neither one of them fight back at them. So there's decisions to make. You can turn and run, in which case the other boat could pursue, or they could turn and run. So the only way that the contact scenario breaks down is you got a line of sight on each other. You can attack. You can both decide to run away until you're out of the line of sight, or one of you can run away and the other one can chase them. That's pretty much it as far as that goes. So finally, every crew member, all 15 on each boat, or all 15 people on the boat, the captain is responsible for their actions. If they break a rule, knowingly or unknowingly, something that deserves a judge punch, that penalty is also going to be applied to their main team. No fighting, no carrying on. This is all in good fun. There may be things that you have to do in order to advance the role-playing storyline that you signed up for that you may not want to do. But if you're going to play in the role, you got to play the game by the rule. So, that being said, break a rule, the captain of the boat is responsible for the actions of the crew while on the boat and may suffer the consequences as well as the offender. Penalties will also be assessed to the side itself for all rule violations. We're going to have a little question and answer thing tomorrow night. So I'll be expecting to see you guys at 7 o'clock here. Lawrence will send out the invites. With that, I bid you good night. I will see you tomorrow evening. Thank you.
Safe and sound at home again, let the waters roar, Jack. Safe and sound at home again, let the waters roar, Jack. Long we've tossed on the rolling main, now we're safe ashore, Jack. Don't forget your old shipmate, rolly, 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 ride on.